Good morning, traders. It is Wednesday, November 13th. We're 30 minutes into trading. Let's see what the market's doing. We've got this nice breakout above the 302 level. Come back and test it twice. That breakout's confirmed. Market rallies. Now we've got a couple of tails above body. That's a little bit of a bearish sign. Shows that there is some profit taking up here. We saw similar here, although conditions here are a little bit more certain. Brexit and trade negotiations are not as big an issue as they were back here. Donald Trump yesterday addressed the attendees at the New York Economic Council, and he said that a trade deal with China is close. Not really a trade deal, it's more of a truce. But he did also say that if a truce does not happen, that we could expect additional tariffs. So don't really know what to expect from him. I do know the market is pricing in good news, and surprise favors the downside. All we need is one of these red candles like this to come down and flush out bullish speculators who bought this breakout. And so I am looking for some weakness in here. We also have the Fed Chairman Powell testifying before Congress today. That will be a reminder that the Fed is done for the year. The market will not like that news as well. So let's zero in, take a look at the 5-minute chart, see what we've got going here. So we've got a couple of long tails under body right here. That suggests support. We've got a rally back into the gap here, so we're likely to fill this little gap at very least this morning. All of these bounces after an initial drop have been buying opportunities. So we saw that yesterday. You saw early buying. If I went to the day before, these dips have been gobbled up readily. It's been an easy trade for day traders. However, one of these is going to look like the real deal, like the market's ready to go, go, go. And we're going to see a nice big red candle. We're going to take out the low of the day, and then we should see some pretty heavy selling after that. Will it happen today? I don't know. I know that we have to be prepared for it. We've got to find our trades early, be in, be out, just like we were yesterday. So let's take a look at some searches. I do want to highlight some bearish trades today as well, because I think that we could see a little bit of a market pullback. We'll also look for some bullish stocks as well. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I post these videos every morning an hour after the open, and it's filled with the stocks that you should be trading. We use Option Stalker to find these stocks. You can get it at www.oneoption.com. Spell it all out. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please leave remarks, comments, questions. I will reply. So, let's go into our searches. So I'm pretty market neutral right in here. This does look pretty good for a rally to close in this gap right here. I'm looking at my 10P indicator, which, let's take a look at that. I showed it to you yesterday. This is the only indicator that you need to trade the S&P 500. It's all I use. This is where the video came out yesterday. Remember, we were go, 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 go. And I said, oh, this thing's getting pretty lofty in here. We're going to be getting across pretty soon, so we need to watch for that. That's a sign that we need to take profits on our long positions and possibly look for an SPY short. But at that time, the trend line was very, very steep, so it needs to level out a little bit, and that's what we got. So right here, I'm going to draw the cross here. Got the cross right here. So that says danger coming ahead. Now we've got a bona fide cross. Now we're starting to break support. Now you've got a slower or a more gradual slope that you can draw on that uptrend line. That's a nice shorting opportunity in there. So we've got a little bit of a market bounce right in here. Again, this is predictive. It is not reactive. So you can see you've got a cross right in here well before the market starts to bottom. You've got your downtrend line here. You got a bullish hammer right here. That would be a sign that you need to take profits. Get a little bit of a release here, and then what happens? Aha! Get another bearish cross right in here. Comes down, draw your downward sloping trend line. Aha! Another bullish cross right here. That's how we do it. This is the only indicator you need to trade the S&P 500. I spent years developing it. So what do we got cooking right now? Got a little bit of a rally here, starting to hit some resistance. We need to have this roll over. we need to have this uptrend line breached. So I'm going to click alert. I'm going to drop the trend line on that candle. I'm going to drop it on that candle. When this is breached and I get a cross on that 1OP indicator, yes, I'll be looking to short the futures. And I'm not going to do it early. It needs to crown, it needs to cross over, it needs to breach that trend line, and it might continue to go higher and higher. If it does, I'm not going to be shorting anything. I'm just going to let it go as high as it possibly can. That's how we do it. So let's take a look at some of the stocks that are coming up in the scanner. We'll go to heavy buying. Great list right here. LK, I like it. Announced earnings. It's coming back to the open though. I would rather see more strength than that. So it is probably going to fill in this gap right here. Probably would be a good shorting opportunity. Connect these two. We'll get an alert. And it will fill in this gap if it breaches that opening price. And you can see the 100-day moving average right there. Probably will come back and test that. We'll see. But it does look good. I do like the fact that it's broken this long-term downtrend. I do like the fact that it's above the 100-day moving average after earnings. That's what the B means, before the open. So longer term, I do like the stock. I think this could be a good one. Pretty choppy, so not a favorite, but we're looking for heavy volume. It recently announced earnings. This is nice. SRPT, got your uptrend line here. You've got a breakout. It's going to start trying to fill in this gap. Let's use the crosshair. There you can see, that's your resistance right in there. So it's right up against that resistance. If it can get above that level, it's got a pretty easy shot to the 100-day, and it might even get to the 200-day because it'll fill this in. But nice, gradual trend higher. Really nice price action for the stock. Once it starts a trend, it continues the trend. So I like those aspects of the stock. We are searching for heavy volume this morning and a stock that is above the prior day's high. TSN earnings yesterday, big rally. You can see it's trying to add to those gains today. It's not a big moving stock, so it would not be my favorite until it retraces half of this long green candle. Then I would look to enter, and if it does that, then there's a good bullish put spread setting up here. Pulls back to that, let's call it $86 level. Then I think that 84 strike price is very attractive for us to sell a bullish put spread, leaning on that 100-day moving average. KO, nothing going there. AMRN, highlighted it 2 days ago. Yesterday, boom. Today, hello. Like it. Stock, very, very strong. Good relative strength. Let's take off this 10P indicator and swap it out for 10SI. This is our relative strength indicator. You can see the relative strength today. AMRN, I like it on the long side today. KEM, take a look at that. Really nice gap higher after earnings, big volume, good relative strength, building on the gains yesterday, wants to go higher. Yes, looks like a pretty decent candidate as well. Relative strength 30, what's moving higher? Beyond catching a little bit of a bid, got a bullish hammer here yesterday, so it's breaking this little downtrend. Might be worth a look today, BYND. Got the heavy volume, we like that. Getting through that high from yesterday, also good. Long green candles closing on their high. Don't like it long term, but it could be a good day trade. So let's go back in. Keep taking a look at what we've got relative strength-wise. We're looking for breakouts. That's all I'm doing right now. Not bad. SGEN, I'd keep an eye on that one. Just looking for those breakouts. This would be nice if it can get through this price level right here. So what do? When I go through and look for these charts, excuse me, I drop alert lines. That's a good till cancel horizontal alert line. If it gets through this price point, I want to know about it. In fact, I had one stock come up this morning that I liked, which was Boeing. I drew this downward sloping trend line and it poked above it. It needs to get through that 200-day moving average, though, for Boeing. So a little bit of resistance there. This is a nice one. GH, it's got to get through that 200-day. Not seeing anything right now on the bullish side that jumps off the page. AMRN was my favorite. Take a look at ACN. I found these on other searches. I like ACN a lot. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I highlighted this in the chat room right on the open. I like that. I like ADP. Beautiful. ADP, there you go. Through that 100-day, this would be a good bullish put spread, but the stock is very, very choppy, doesn't go anywhere. But it's got some nice momentum on good volume right now, so I think it sets up well for a day trade. I also have some shorts that I like. I told you I'd highlight some today because one of these bounces is going to fail, and we're starting to get some two-sided price action. I came up on our searches yesterday intraday. I did not take a position in it. Boy, that would have been a nice overnight short. And it came up on our bearish explosion search. That's a pop-up. And as soon as it started to tank in here on this heavy volume, it came up on our searches. So we were notified of it yesterday via pop-up. That explosion search, we're able to catch some really, really nice trades on that one. We don't know what the news is. We don't care. We just see that volume explosion. SWKS came back, rallied. So was trying to fill in this gap in here. We'll see. Not a favorite. I'm looking for upward sloping trend lines that have been breached and breakouts that have been breached. So you've got buyers on this breakout right here getting long in here. On the backside, when that breakout fails, these bullish speculators who bought in here get flushed out. So that's the pattern that I'll be looking for when we get this market pullback. A lot of cyclical stocks are ripe. They are ripe to be shorted, and that's not a bad short right there. Symbol SDC, earnings after the close yesterday, weak reaction through horizontal resistance, relative weakness on a daily basis. LOW, you can see this upward sloping trend line that's been breached, and you can hover over the E and find out what the next earnings release date is on it. And that looks like a decent short to me as well. So I'm going to cut right to the chase. Want to keep these videos fairly short. TMUS through that 100-day moving average, relative weakness. I think this sets up for a good short. So I'm just going to highlight some of the shorts that I'm watching today. And TMUS, LOW, I highlighted GOOS. Earnings before the open. And the stock is really tanking. I am short that stock right in here this morning. I posted it in the chat room. So that's been a nice position for me. I am also short LOW and TMUS. AAP, love this short. Going to the daily chart. Here you can see earnings before the open yesterday. Drops below the 200-day moving average. On any bounce, I think you can sell a bearish call spread on that 200-day moving average. Testing the 100-day moving average, finding support here. If it breaks through that 100-day moving average, I think we've got a nice short position on. Now, I had mentioned, and I encourage you to come back and check the YouTube page because I am posting on occasion some stocks in there, and I posted GLD as a short last Thursday. It's been a nice short. I think GLD on a longer term basis, on a swing basis, looks pretty good. We've got this downward sloping trend line. We have horizontal support that's been breached. We're below the 100-day moving average. So I think GLD has the potential to go down. I think you could also try and sell this bearish call spread using the 139.50 level as your short strike price. You would be selling the 139.50 or the 140 calls if you're looking to do that bearish call spread. So that's it for today. We'll take a look tomorrow. Let's take one more look at what the market's doing. We have to be careful of Chairman Powell's testimony before Congress today. I think the market could have, there won't be anything new. I just don't think the market wants to be reminded that the Fed is done for the year. We fill in this little gap right here, and I think that we could start to roll over. Trading conditions have been very, very slow. The market has not had any momentum one way or the other. I'm going to take a look at this 1OP indicator, see what it's doing. starting to get a little bit of a cross right here, which tells you that there's some danger ahead. Possible shorting opportunity. I've got my upward sloping trend line drawn. I'm ready to short the futures when that is breached. That's it. Trade well. We'll see you tomorrow.